What makes Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure so legendary? Is it the vampire powers, the insane charisma, the fact that this man literally stole another man's body and then gained the ability to stop time? Because Dio isn't just a JoJo villain, he's one of the most iconic antagonists in anime history. He's evil, stylish, intelligent, and somehow every second he's on screen feels larger than life. So today we're breaking down who Dio really is, why he's so dangerous, and why JoJo's Bizarre Adventure would not be the same without him. So, if you love anime deep dives, power analysis, and character breakdowns, hit that subscribe button and like this video. Now, let's talk about the monster who turned hatred into legacy. This is Dio Brando Explained. Let's go over Dio's origin. Dio Brando first appears in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Phantom Blood. At first, he looks like a gifted, ambitious young man born into a horrible life. He grows up in poverty with an abusive alcoholic father, Dio Brando, and from the start, Dio learns one brutal lesson. Power is everything. When Dio is taken into the wealthy Joestar household, he sees it as his chance to escape weakness forever. But instead of being grateful, he immediately begins trying to destroy Jonathan Joestar's life from the inside out. He manipulates people. He lies constantly. He humiliates Jonathan every chance he gets. And he doesn't just want comfort or wealth. He wants domination. That's what makes Dio different from a normal rival. He doesn't want to be better than Jonathan. He wants Jonathan crushed, erased, and forgotten. From the beginning, Dio is driven by envy, pride, and this almost supernatural hunger to stand above everyone else. Let's go over the stone mask and his transformation. The real turning point for Dio comes with the stone mask. Originally, he tries to use poison to kill Jonathan's father and steal the Joestar fortune. But once his plan starts collapsing, Dio embraces something even darker. He uses the stone mask on himself and becomes a vampire. And that's where Dio stops becoming just a cruel human being and becomes a full-blown nightmare. As a vampire, Dio gains monstrous strength, insane speed, rapid regeneration, and abilities that make him almost impossible to kill through normal means. He can freeze people with a touch. He can survive horrific injuries. He can casually overpower trained fighters. But most important than the powers is what this transformation represents. The mask doesn't change Dio's personality. It just reveals it. Becoming a vampire simply gives Dio the power to match the monster that he already was inside. That's why he feels so terrifying. There was never a moral limit holding him back. Once he gains power, he uses it exactly how you'd expect, without mercy. So, Dio versus Jonathan. At the heart of Phantom Blood is the clash between Dio and Jonathan Joestar. Jonathan represents honor, compassion, discipline, and sacrifice. Dio represents ambition without morality, power without restraint, and ego without limits. They are complete opposites. Jonathan fights to protect others. Dio fights to rule others. That contrast is what makes their rivalry so powerful. It's not just hero versus villain. It's two worldviews colliding. Even when Jonathan grows stronger and he learns Harman, Dio never stops evolving as a threat. He adapts, he schemes, he survives. And in one of the most defining moments in the entire JoJo story, Dio manages to outlive Jonathan in the most twisted way possible. I mean, he steals Jonathan's body. That single act is peak Dio. It's disrespectful, it's horrifying, and it's symbolic. Even in death, Dio refuses to let Jonathan have peace. He literally takes the body of the man who opposed him and uses it as the foundation for his return. That is just pure villain madness, and I love it. Let's go over Dio's return in Stardust Crusaders. When Dio returns, he's no longer just a vampire from the past. Now, he's become something even more dangerous. He now has Jonathan's body. He has decades to recover and grow stronger, and most importantly, he awakens a stand. That stand is the world, and I love it. And with the world, Dio becomes one of the most terrifying villains in anime because his ability is absolutely broken. He can stop time. That's what makes Dio in Part 3 such a legendary final boss. You're not just fighting a strong villain, you're fighting someone who can freeze the entire battlefield itself. For everyone else, the fight keeps moving. For Dio, the world becomes silent, motionless, helpless. And in those stop moments, he can attack, reposition, throw weapons, or simply decide how the next few seconds of reality are gonna unfold. That power fits Dio perfectly. Of course, Dio would have an ability that places everyone beneath him. But of course, his stand would let him dominate time itself. It matches his entire identity. He doesn't just want strength, he wants control over reality. But why is Dio so charismatic? One of the biggest reasons Dio is so iconic is because he has this overwhelming presence. The second he appears, the energy changes. He talks like he's already won. He moves without complete confidence. He doesn't ask for attention, he commands it. And that charisma matters because Dio isn't just physically dangerous, he's mentally dangerous too. He manipulates his followers. He inspires fear. He attracts people who either worship him or are broken by him. Dio understands power on every level, not just combat power, psychological power. He knows how to make people feel small. He knows how to turn loyalty into control. He knows how to position himself like a god in the eyes of others. That's why he's more memorable than a lot of anime villains who are just strong. Dio has style, aura, dialogue, and presence. He feels larger than the story around him. Let's look at Dio's philosophy. Dio's philosophy is rooted in domination. He sees the world as a hierarchy. There are those who rule, there are those who are ruled, there are those who take, and there are those who lose. And Dio will never accept being beneath anyone. That's why he's constantly chasing greater heights. Human wasn't enough, so he became a vampire. Vampire wasn't enough, so he gained a stand. Power itself is never enough for Dio, because what he truly wants is superiority. He doesn't want peace, doesn't want redemption, he doesn't even want balance. He wants to stand at the top and force the entire world to recognize him. That relentless hunger is a huge part of why he remains so compelling. Dio always feels like he's reaching for godhood. Let's look on Dio's impact on JoJo as a whole. Dio's influence stretches far beyond just one story arc. He doesn't just create conflict for Jonathan, he shapes the Joestar bloodline for generations. His return in Stardust Crusaders forces Jotaro and the others into action. His existence affects major events throughout JoJo. Even characters tied to him by blood, legacy, or ideology continue carrying the consequences of his actions. That's what makes Dio more than a villain of the week or a simple antagonist. He is one of the central forces of JoJo's entire mythos. When people think of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Dio is one of the first names that comes to mind because he is woven into the DNA of the series. He's not just part of the story, he's one of the reasons why the story becomes legendary. Why fans love Dio, including myself. Fans love Dio because he delivers everything you want from an iconic anime villain. He's powerful, he's quotable, he's theatric, he's ruthless, and every version of him feels unforgettable. Dio doesn't pretend to be misunderstood. He doesn't hide what he is. He embraces being monstrous. And weirdly, that honestly makes him even more entertaining. He's evil with style, cruel with confidence, and in every scene, he's in it and it feels like he matters. That's rare. A lot of villains are dangerous. Very few become cultural icons. Dio did. So, when you really break it down, Dio Brando is more than just a JoJo villain. He is the embodiment of ambition corrupted into evil. A man so obsessed with power that he transcended humanity just to dominate everyone around him. And in doing so, he became one of anime's most unforgettable antagonists. Dio isn't legendary just because he's strong. He's legendary because every part of his character screams power, presence, and menace. And honestly, that's why JoJo without Dio wouldn't feel like JoJo at all. And I love Dio. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that subscribe button and like the video for more anime deep dives, and comment who you want to explain next. Thank you and have a good day.